So, hey everyone, I am Diane Webb with the Play Loud Agency, and today we're going to be talking with Mikael Rosengren. He is the founder of Steel Rhino, and the new album came out on August 20th. We want to talk a bit about what the album is, the background on the band, let you guys get to know who he is and what this project is all about. So, how are you doing, Mikael?
It's good. It's good.
Good. So, Steel Rhino.
Yeah.
You know, you guys released the album on the 20th through GMR Music in Sweden. The reviews have been fantastic. And I've been involved with you since the starting of this project. It's so much fun. And I think that it's time to go back and talk about what Steel Rhino is, why you decided to start it. And I think maybe lean into the type of music that you're making, because there's been quite a number of reviews talking about how they don't feel like you reinvented the wheel and that it's just like some really solid 80s hard rock and metal style. So let's start with, where did the inspiration for your solo project come from?
It did come from from everything almost, because I play in a lot some bands, and it was like I need to write my own stuff also, just to like take it out of my head, and it started like in January with writing some songs, and then it was like, yeah, this is awesome. And then it became more and more songs, and it became like, this sounds almost like this and like this and this and this. So it went from an idea to a full album pretty fast. From the beginning, it was like only do 5 songs. But it became 11 songs, so that's awesome.
11 songs of glory too. They are so good. And that's what a lot of people they've kind of sunk their teeth into, the fact that these tracks have such an old school feel to them, that it's just that glory era of the 80s that people have fallen in love with and have never walked away from. Was it some sort of forethought for you to do something of this style, or is this just where your heart falls in that passion for that style of music?
My heart is like in this old school 80s hard rock, Kiss, Accept, like these old bands, Judas Priest and all those. So it went, so in my mind it was always these 80s bands. I have a love for Whitesnake, so it was like this catchy choruses and all that. So it was really easy to write the songs. And some songs were like, okay, I need a Accept this sound on this song, because I need a heaviness of this song to have this old school Accept sound. And also like Dio and Black Sabbath feel to it. But it's like the 80s is where I go back when I listen to music. It's almost the 80s sound I'm usually listen to, and therefore the album got that sound, because I listen also on too much of the 80s music.
I don't think there's too much of that.
No.
I'm still a diehard for the 80s. And I think that's probably why this project has been so much fun for me to work with you on, because I love the style and it's never gone out of style for me. And I thought, it's always great for me to hear bands that I love from that era to make new music and still have that fit. But then to see other bands today that are making new music that fits that style, it's so fun to me to see that, because there's so much of that going on right now. And with this album, it's that same feel, and it's so authentic feeling, and it doesn't feel like there's any kind of pretense to it. It's just great fun rock and metal, and each song has kind of its own feel to it, but it just goes together as like one solid fit. So let's dispel this right now, because I know there's been a lot of people asking this one question: why the name Steel Rhino?
Because it's cool.
I think because some of what I've heard is like, that poor rhino, gosh, they really make rhinos sound bad, but I'm like, that's maybe not why. So let's dispel the name Steel Rhino.
The funny thing is like this, because I have a favorite movie yeah, in Sweden it's called Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. The band there is Steel Dragon. And I was like, fuck, that's an awesome name of a band. And I was like, okay, I need something with steel. And it was like I was like thinking of something with steel. And then I were at a zoo in Sweden, and I saw this Savannah team thing there, and it was like, oh, there's a rhino, steel rhino. Maybe that's really cool. But from the beginning, the name of Steel Rhino was Red Rhino. I was thinking of Red Rhino, but then I got this Steel Dragon thing in my head about, oh, Steel Rhino, let's do it.
That's cool. And it's funny because there is a song on the album that is the title track, Steel Rhino, and it has that weird kind of 80s cheesy fist pumping kind of feel to it. And people have said it feels a little cheesy, but not super cheesy, like that real authentic cheesy 80s stuff that like it just has like a place that it fits.
Yeah.
So to dispel it all, Steel Rhino wasn't to rag on rhinos as being violent animals. It's just a cool, fun name.
Yeah. And the funny thing was because I always wanted to have like this steel pattern, because I think it looks cool. That's always like that. So it was like Steel Rhino, and then the thing was, okay, let's do it in this steel format, and this shiny chrome, and it looks awesome.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's just that.
It does, and even from just the songs themselves, but just all the way through the album, the CD's cover and the feel of it has that vibe of it. It's just here to have something fun and great. I want you to come to a live show, and I want you fist pumping with me. That just the authentic feel.
Yeah. That was the whole point with the album, that people should be like headbanging, pumping their fist, stomping with their legs, because like every song has this red line in it, so it should be like you should not gonna sit straight up, because you're gonna feel your head bouncing or like a bubble head. It's gonna
like
be like this.
And I can say it because I've been with part of this project from the very beginning, when the tracks weren't even tracks, as the writing started and as things were developing. And my go-to, and I think for a lot of people that love rock and metal music, is get in your car, pop a CD in, or pop your Bluetooth on, and listen to Spotify or whatever you're listening to, and they want to see how it feels. Like I've played this while it was all development in my car. I've played it at the gym. I've played it throughout the day, just to kind of listen to it. Headphones, just loud in the house to hear how it sounds, and every place it fits like it should. And it's one of those, I'm scared to really get out on the highway because I'm afraid I'm going to put my pedal to the metal a little too hard, because you just want to get in and go and just like open the windows and it's just that great feel to it. Yeah. So let's start getting into tracks, because while we're talking about it, like you want to talk the fist pump. So we went through, and I think a lot of people like, the track listing, and let's talk about that, because it was really important to get the track listing on this album laid out correctly to make the most impact and to get it to sound the way you want it to sound. For you, how important was the track listing?
It was really important, because you want the songs to have a flow, and you want to like start hard, but you don't want to end soft, because you need to like have the momentum throughout the whole album. The funny thing is, like, I was thinking of maybe having some other songs in the beginning or in the end, but I think the best choice was to put the Rhino Attack at number 1, because it's an incredible start of the song, because it has this little intro, so people think, okay, what's this? And then it's just
that, and it has the blazing guitar that straight down like the frets. That
and
yeah, it has that like it's almost like a drive kind of feel to it. Yeah.
yeah, and then it just hit you in the face, and then it's just take it from there. Because the funny thing is of this album, it's just pure rock metal. It's no ballads or like that. Maybe next album, who knows? No, no.
I've always been on the vehemently stop the ballads. We did it in the
Yeah.
80s and one was enough. No.
Yeah.
You know, but I think a well done ballad has its place.
Yeah, of course.
It does. I mean, and if you stick to the kind of 80s style, like maybe a ballad would come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really awesome to have this 11 killer songs, and it's a good thing that we put that order, because when I listen to the album myself now, it's like, okay, it's totally right.
Yeah, and it's funny because in the middle there is the one kind of track that takes a little dark turn, and then it's heavy and dark, and we're talking Bells of Midnight, the 5th track, and it feels like it fits, like, because you've got just, you're blazing through, and then it gives this kind of little more space to kind of breathe, and then it's right back into the fire.
Yeah. It's like
has that, that has that weird, like, but how it should be, because I think that's why ballads were such a big thing in the 80s, because it gave bands a chance to kind of breathe for a few minutes instead of like okay, I got to keep up, let's slow down a little bit. Yeah. So let's talk. First track that you wrote on the album, what was the very first song for you?
The very first track I wrote was Love and Easy. The Love and Easy were a song that just popped in my head, because I was sitting at the drums, and I pressed record, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a song, and then I played the drums for almost 4 minutes, maybe more, and then I was okay, this is really cool, the drum thing here, and then I did a song. But the crazy thing is, the song wasn't named Love and Easy from the beginning, and here's the spoiler, because the song was named Belly Button Love. So it was a really crazy song from the beginning, and I don't think Herbie wanted to sing Belly Button Love, so it was good it became Love and Easy instead.
And now we talk about the amazing vocalist. Let's bring in talking about Herbie, because we're going to get to the point where if you guys, when you're watching through this, we're going to do a breakdown track by track of the album. We're going to do these, break them out in separate videos. So you want to come to the channel, you'll want to come back to Steel Rhino's channel and take a look and see what really happened with the development of the song. So we're going to go in and talk about Herbie now. So how did Herbie Langens become part of this project? What, I mean, I know you and I went back and forth on like finding a vocalist, but how did you decide on him?
Yeah, it's really because I listen a lot of this Avantasia and the power metal from Germany. So Herbie has always been in the mind, and it was like he has this. I don't know. It's like this. It's something between accept singer like Judo or Mark Tornillo, and also a little bit this softer sound, and because his range is like from here to here, he can like take it everything. So, and I wanted that this little what you call it, raspy voice.
Yeah, that tone, that rich tone.
Yeah. And Herbie has it, and it was a good deal, and a great choice that I choose Herbie, because the album sounds awesome. The songs became awesome also. So he has a part of this.
Yeah, and I think behind the scenes of it, Boom Boom was the first track that got recorded.
Yeah.
And so I remember that, you got it back and you were like, okay, you got to listen to the demo. And so I'm listening and I was like, oh my God, it was so like insane. The vocals. And I mean, that like, guys, that's how I was literally like, oh my God, because it was so good. And I had to go back and listen to it a few times because wow. I mean, like the music itself, like the sound that was going on with it, and then his vocals that tapped into like wrap the song up. It still wasn't a final mix, and it had it, so it had some room to go because it started so different from where it ended up. And I think a lot of people like they don't realize like there's something going on there. But then I think that like when we go through talking about each track too, we're gonna give you guys a few samples here and there of what it started out as and where we ended up, so you guys have an idea of like how different the sound became, because everything really evolved throughout the making of this album. Yeah. And I mean, Boom Boom was the first single too. So it gave the world like a whole idea of what was coming and the reaction to the vocals. And I think it took a lot of people by surprise because they just weren't kind of expecting that sound to come out in 2021. That just kind of, yeah. So let's go ahead and we are going to start talking about the album. We will talk about the first track, Rhino Attack. And then if you guys want to catch the rest of this, you're going to have to come back video by video to talk about each track. So first song we're going to talk about is Rhino Attack. How did you decide to write this? Let's talk about a little about the vocals, and we'll talk about the actual lyrics on this one, because I know you, Chris L. Svensson, who Dirty Passion, your partner from the other band, Dirty Passion, wrote your lyrics and you've written the music. Where did the idea for the music come up, and what is your process on writing the music?
Yeah, this is also a song that started with the drums, and I was because I listened a lot of this 80s Dio, Black Sabbath, and all those, and I was like, I want this hi-hat swing to it. But I also want this punch, because maybe I should have this heavier drums, and it was really easy when it's just when I put it down, and then when I just listened to the song, like the guitar parts and the bass part just came in my head, and it became a brilliant song.
And I think a lot of people too, it's gonna kind of, because you are a drummer, and they go, a drummer writes this, how did this happen? And talk about the process, because I know you worked with Philip on laying it down, and we're talking Philip Wilhelmsen, who you guys have worked together on other projects as well, and he's been your hired gun for the bass and guitar for this project. How did that work together, and the relationship you have help form getting that music to come out?
Philip is awesome, because I'm just a drummer. I can't play guitar yet, and I can't play bass, and I can't sing yet, and exactly, and I can't sing yet.
Wait, what was it? How was it? Yeah, okay, I've heard some of the demos too, and it was like
yeah. Funny thing is, it all starts with the drums, of course, and then I sing. I record me singing the guitar parts and the bass parts, not so much the bass, just the guitars, and then Philip has to translate it to guitar. So we sit here in the studio, and we translate my singing to the real instrument. So he has his ears, and that's great, because he's a great friend and also a great guitarist. So so he knows how to have it sound, or have it how I want it to have the Steel Rhino sound. And and it has become for the songs of Steel Rhino is like this heavy bass. The bass line is always in the back, but in Steel Rhino I want it a little bit forward, because I want the bass to have its this heavy sound in the front also.
Yeah, and I appreciate that as a music fan myself, like, because I say that I am ultimately a music fan, and I love to hear like a really heavy bass line that really stands out. And I mean, you don't have to have it in every song, but to not have it completely buried in every track, because I think there's a lot of albums where they bury the bass, and it's nice to have that because it makes such a distinctive sound, especially like with Boom Boom, like the opening of Boom Boom. So, and same with Rhino Attack, it kind of has that definite sound to it.
Yeah, the funny thing is in Rhino Attack, when it still was a demo, it has a bass solo in it also.
Everybody loves a bass solo.
Yeah. Cut.
It's like the 30-minute bass solo.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but
it's not a 30-minute bass solo on Rhino Attack, guys.
No.
So,
No, that's been cut out because nobody wants to hear a bass solo. But it was really cool, and I can, we can show them the bass solo if they want, because it's because it was like this. Yeah, it was like we need something in the middle, and it worked really good because the whole verse is this heavy bass, and drums. It's like this. Not like jungle drums, but it's this heavy drums, like that's put the whole the line, like following the line. So it's a really, it's that Rhino Attack is one of my favorite songs because I had the idea from the beginning. It became awesome. I had the name of the song already because I wanted because the band's name is still Rhino, and I wanted like, okay, let's do a little this cheesy Rhino Attack because people should know, because when they hear the song, okay, they're gonna say, okay, Steel Rhino is on the way, like Steel Rhino is coming, and it's gonna smack you in the head.
And it has that feel too. And I laugh too, because I think you see on a band when the band's got a self-titled album, and it doesn't always work to have the self-titled. And I've heard of this, like people say, if you're ever going to do a self-titled album, it should always be your first album. Don't do it later down, because a lot of people gave Halloween crap for coming out with the album all these years later called Halloween, but you know what? It came in perfect. And I think that after all those albums, they can do that. Right. But so you came out with it first. And so then you had another Rhino song in here. And it was kind of funny because then it's that kind of that, okay, when you just kind of breeze through the track list, that's kind of cheesy, but it works. It totally works. And then you've got that left, right. And it kind of gives that feel like, okay, what are we throwing our fists? Are we going to be jumping up and down the crowd? So it leaves that interpretation that this could be really fun live. So
yeah, actually. Yeah, it's a really awesome song, and the vocals does the whole song. It's insane, actually. The song is. Yeah, I'm still thinking, did I wrote this song? it's that good when I hear it. Is okay. This is a fucking brilliant song.
It's a really good song. And let's talk about the lyrics as well, because you worked with Chris Svensson from Dirty Passion, who is another bandmate you've worked with over the years. Yeah. Did you give him much direction in what you wanted lyrically, or did he just have like the full reign to go with it?
On this song, it was, I told him the song's name is Rhino Attack. Do what you want. And he is a brilliant lyrics writer. He can like write a lyric in like 20 minutes. It's insane. Because when we played before, it was like we were like jamming on a new song the first time, and he could like standing there and write the lyrics in 20 minutes. And it became the lyrics for the song later also. So he has done an awesome job on the whole album. Because he took my inspiration of the songs and put his inspiration of the lyrics in it, and it became a match in heaven, I think.
Yeah, and I think musically at the core, because I know you and Philip have worked in other projects together along the way, so you guys have had some time together, and then you've had that time with Chris to know how you guys kind of come simpatico together, and it works really well. And the only real part of the whole project itself that wasn't really a sure bet was the addition of Herbie's vocals, not from his standpoint of his skill, just that you hadn't worked with him before.
No.
Yeah.
No. The funny thing is, because when we write the song, we write it in maybe a E, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't play guitar.
You write an open E.
Yeah. But some singers can't sing in this octave and like this. But Herbie just took the challenge and did an awesome job. And yeah, the best part is because on Rhino Attack, because I told Herbie to do your thing, because I don't want to like, no, you can't do that. You need to do that, because he's a professional musician, and he has a lot of experience with a lot of bands and a lot of famous bands. So my thing with Herbie was like, do your own thing. If you want to sing like that, do it. I'm not gonna come in and no, you do your thing. And on Rhino Attack, he did his little the verses, yeah, because he likes to begin on Rhino Attack this little a little not that much volume. It's like a little bit whispering in the beginning, and then it just rises
wide.
Yeah.
And I say it's funny because I know as I was talking to people as we were doing the PR for the album, and I would message people and say, hey, I've got this really cool project I'm working with, and it's the solo project of Mikael Rosengren, and it's got Herbie Ellington's on the vocals. And the first thing people would say, Herbie's on another project. And it's like kind of a joke thing. Like everybody loves Herbie because they know the versatility in his voice. And I thought it was funny that was the response, and everyone was like, wait, what? And I'm like, but you know what? He is a professional vocalist. This is his livelihood. And he's got such a great versatility that people think of him when it comes to projects, because he's got that range and that grit that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah. He's awesome. He did an awesome job.
Yeah, he did a really, really good job. And on that note, we're going to play you guys some of samples of what it sounded like beforehand. And then we're going to go in and play the whole track for you. Then you guys have got to come back, because then we're going to go in and talk to you guys on the Steel Rhino Band channel about each track after. And the next one we're going to talk about is the second track, Arrival. So you got to stick around and come back for more. And I hope you guys love the Steel Rhino project as much as I do, because I only got involved with it because I know Mikael, I know the kind of music that he can do. And I'm super excited because this is a really cool project and the music came out so great. Yeah. So guys, we hope you enjoy Rhino Attack. Check it out now, and we'll see you when we talk about the second track, Arrival.
giant rumble across the barricades. It's the law of the jungle and we're on its top. Once we saw the stampede